Barack Obama took a shot at Sarah Palin today. He seized on her complaint that voters are getting irritated by nasty campaign tactics like the robocalls that have been coming from her own campaign. Let's take a listen.
It's getting so bad that even Senator McCain's running mate denounced his tactics last night. You know, you really have to work hard to violate Governor Palin's standards on negative campaigning.
Back with me now to talk about that, plus the interview you saw a moment ago with Sarah Palin, Gloria Borger, Kevin Madden, and Roland Martin once again. Kevin, Sarah Palin telling reporters yesterday, she said she's not a fan of robocalls, a tactic her own campaign has been using, as we pointed out. Let's listen to what she said.
If I called all the shots and if I could wave a magic wand, I would be sitting at a kitchen table with more and more Americans, talking to them about our plan to get the economy back on track and winning the war, and not having to rely on the old conventional ways of campaigning that includes those robocalls and includes spending so much money on the television ads that I think get kind of draining out there in terms of Americans' attention span. They get a bit irritated with just being inundated.
So tonight, Kevin, of course, we find out that she's recorded one of these robocalls herself. I mean, so what's going on here?
Well,
you either
look,
love them or you hate them, right?
This is why candidates are always encouraged not to talk about tactics, not to talk about the levers and the mechanics of a campaign, but again, talk about the issues. You know, there are guys that are paid on campaigns to talk to reporters and to talk to everybody about what the latest strategy is and what the robocalls are saying and why. That's me, the press secretary.
Wow. I'm sorry,
and
Kevin.
you might do a better job, Kevin.
I'm sorry, Kevin. She shouldn't tell the truth. Oh, that's a doggone shame. What's going on here? That's what she was doing, Campbell. She shared a real feeling. You guys are always talking about, let's see the real Sarah Palin. Well, we saw it. They probably didn't like it.
Well, Roland, let me ask you a different question, though. Well, you heard that interview that David Brody did with Sarah Palin, and she raised something that she said she feels her faith has been mocked by the media. And this is obviously something that is important to her, that's deeply personal to her. Does she have a point? Do you think in certain cases the media, you know, which is a pretty broad word we throw around a lot, but has crossed the line in its approach and reporting on her religious beliefs?
I certainly thought this whole notion of the church speaking in tongues was a ridiculous, overblown thing. But you know what? If she wants to be concerned about questions of her faith, walk in Barack Obama's shoes. Here's a guy who has to defend being a Christian, constantly being called a Muslim. You can't even compare the attacks on his faith to attack on her and her faith, not even close.
Gloria, let me go to you on this. We talk a lot about Sarah Palin. Look, she's captured the imagination, for better or worse, of so many people in this country.
Right.
And I just want to ask you, this is a new ABC News Washington Post poll. It shows 52% of voters said that McCain's choice of Palin made them less confident in the decisions he'd make as president. Hindsight, obviously, 2020. But do you think if John McCain could do it again, would he have picked someone else?
Oh, well, that's a big question to ask me. I don't know yet. I think we'll know after the campaign is over, Campbell. Look, she clearly united. I'm dodging that question. She clearly united.
That was a good move, Gloria.
She clearly united the base.
All right.
But she's not bringing in those independent voters, and they can't win with the base.
Got to end it there, guys. That's it for us. Thank you, panel. Larry King Live, starting right now.